Okay, so apparently some of you still don't understand what's going on. And so I thought, as an artist and a musician, I would explain the math behind what's going on. And if an artist and a musician can understand it, well, then anybody can, because, like, we're the flakiest people on earth, right? Okay, so first of all, this is a pandemic. And all that means, I know it's like a really big word for some people, but pandemic means that this is happening all over the world. Okay, so got that? I stopped for a second so that everybody could just ponder that. All right, so what I thought I'd do is use art supplies to explain what's called exponentials, another big word, and it's a math word. I mean, like, how boring, right? But exponential, exponential. Okay, all that means is that something increases or changes and you can see a pattern, right? It's like you look at it and there's a pattern to how it's changing. Now, I know some people are going to say, you're just fake news. You're just trying to ruin my business, and I've got better things to do than listen to you liberal elitists. Okay, fine. That's why I brought my art supplies. The colored pencil. Okay, so what colors should we use? Let's use orange and this color here. These are nice. Okay, we can agree that there are two colored pencils here, right? Now, I know some people are going to disagree because they, you know, this is not what I believe in. You're faking this. There are two. I'm going with two because I can see two colored pencils here. Okay, so what's an exponential? What pattern are we going to see? Okay, so 2 doubles and becomes 4. So now we have 4 colored pencils, right? 2 became 4. When you double 2, you get 4. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Remember that? Okay, so what happens next? You've got 4. There's going to be a pattern. If this doubled and became 4, what happens when you double this? You get 8. So now you have 8 colored pencils. Okay, wait for it. What's going to happen next? You've got 16 colored pencils! Oh my god! Okay, so now let's pretend... Oh my god, you hear that? These colored pencils are sick. Oh, we're really sick. We need to get to the colored pencil hospital. This is the colored pencil hospital. So they show up. Oh, but what? Wait, what? Oh, hold on. What's going on in here? There's already colored pencils in there. And I used paintbrushes to represent hospital staff. So there's a nurse, there's a doctor. This is the guy who cleans the floors. And there's all these people who are already sick in there. Oh, yeah, she's pregnant. Diabetes. Ugh, God. Guy had a heart attack. This person's been sick their whole life and they've been in and out. It's just... So anyway, these sick colored pencils show up and they're like, let us in, let us in. And the doctors are like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So they're like, oh, bring them in. So they bring them in, all these sick colored pencils, right? And see how crowded it got all of a sudden? And then, like, all these colored pencils they're infected, and they are spreading it to all the other patients, and it's like, oh my God. And and then, like, this nurse got sick, so they have to take her out. This doctor, not good, got sick, and then he died. So now you have all these colored pencils in the colored pencil hospital, and you have less and less doctors and nurses because they're human beings and they get sick and they die. Okay. Okay. So then what happens? All right. 16, right? 16. What's the pattern? 16 turns into 32 the next day. You've got 32 because that's the pattern. Like, one day you've got 2, the next day you got 4, the next day you got 8, then you got 16, and then, like, oh my God, now you've got 32, 32, and it just keeps growing and growing. Now there's 64. Okay, so that hospital's full and people are dying and doctors are all sick. And so they go to this other hospital and they're like, let us in, let us in. But this hospital looked at that hospital and they're like, we're not letting you in here. Yeah. So they let in as many as they can, right, to let a few in. And the rest just have to wait. Like, they set up beds out in the garage and parking garage or out on the sidewalk. So you're out here like, we're so sick and I want to come in. And of course they let a few people in, so now we've got doctors, so that doctor got sick, and oh God, this nurse is not feeling very good, so she went home. So there's all these people outside like, let us in, and people are getting sick and all that's going on over here. So this doctor comes out and says, look, people, if you would just stay home and keep away from each other, we could slow down the number of people who need to come into the hospital, right? So instead of that crazy chaos going on, we have 3 people entering the hospital. So these people in here, these doctors in here, this doctor's like, well, we can handle that. We can set up a little area over here, and we can deal with 3 at a time. We cannot deal with this. Stay home. Please stay home. You're making us all sick. We're just trying to help you. That's what we are up against. This is a surgeon. He's also like, I want you to stay home. You're making everybody sick. We can't handle all the people showing up at the hospitals. Please stay home. And you're going to hear people say that all sorts of things. I've heard like all sorts of things like, I can't possibly be sick. Help me. I have an appointment for my manicurist next week. You got to let me in. Yes, this is going to take a long time. And it really is a simple choice. Do you want to end up on the sidewalk next to a hospital with a temperature of 105, coughing your lungs out, waiting to get into the hospital? Or do you want to be bored for a while? And this is why we need our dear leaders to step in and help people stay home. This next week is going to be where you're going to see what I just showed you. That is going to happen this week. And whether the dear leaders will change their tune in a week, I don't know. But I do know that you need to stay home or you're going to end up like that. And you're going to make all the doctors and nurses sick. And that is just not okay, right? Now, as an artist and a musician, there is very little I can do unless somebody can think of a song that we can sing that will cure this virus. There's very little that I can do except stay home, because that's what science does. They figure this stuff out, you know. We sing to them and we make pretty stuff for them while they figure this stuff out. Okay. We create challenging ideas so that maybe it can spark scientific innovation. But you can't do that if you're dead. Okay, so one last thing. As an artist and a musician, I feel like I need to have a heart-to-heart talk with our dear leaders. Because this morning I've been hearing this message that it's okay for some people to be put in peril, to let them die, let them get sick, because they're old anyway, just so the other people go back to work and keep the economy going. All right, so let's bring out the art supplies. Here we have colored pencils again, right? And this represents older people, people over 60, the white pencil. And here's all the young people. All right, so these people get sick, all right? These are the sick colored pencils, and they go to work, and they're hanging out with all these other people. And they're checking out your food at the fast food place, cooking it up for you, and they're all sick at this point. And then this person is a cashier at Walmart, and oh yeah, this person works over at the gas station. Yeah, so, and in there is this person over 60, you know, they've been working at their same job for, you know, the past 35 years at $10 an hour with no benefits, no health care or anything like that. Most of these people don't have any health care benefits, and they live paycheck to paycheck. So statistically speaking, one person comes in, and pretty soon 40 to 70% of these will get sick. So then you're down. So all these people need to go home, right, because they're sick, or they're going to stay at work, and what happens? Okay, they're at work. So here you are, you know, you come up, you're at the gas station, right, or you're at the fast food restaurant, and, you know, and that's like, can I take your order, please? And they hand you a bag. Now you've got it too, all right? And then you go home, and your family's waiting for their hamburgers, and you hand them that bag. Oh, now they've got it too, right? You see what's happening. People are going to get sick. Lots and lots and lots of people. Millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions. Okay, so let's go back to these guys. They're all sick and they're all at work. Now, this older person stands a much better chance of getting sick and dying from it, all right? Because they're over 60. And if they're over 80, even more of a chance. The rest, however, it's not like some magic is going to, oh, we will put our economic stimulus magic over you You won't have health care benefits and no sick leave, but you'll be fine because you are working. No. They're all sick. They don't feel good. They're at their jobs. They feel miserable. They're spreading the disease around. A certain number of these are going to have to go to the hospital. That's how sick they are, right? They may not die, but they need help. They can't breathe. They have a high fever. It won't go away. They're very, very sick. They may survive, but they need help, right? Here we are again. Let us in, let us in. Hospital's already full. Doctors are already sick. So telling people that it's okay for some people to die so that we can keep the economy going and everything will just be happy and you can get your manicures and you can go on a Carnival cruise this summer and it'll just be great. That is really, really creepy. This nurse is like, what? What did I, what? If you are sick and you are at work, you are spreading the disease. You may not die from it, but other people. And where this idea came from that if you're 21, that you are magically not going to get sick and die. You might get a little cough. That, you'll be fine. No. People of all ages are dying from this because someone who's 22 may have leukemia. Someone who's 30 may have asthma. Someone who's 27 might have some other medical problem. You might be perfectly healthy and your lungs will just stop working. I'm reading it on the news. This represents our dear leader. Okay. This represents a nurse. What's wrong with you? Are you insane? You're just trying to hurt my image. Oh, you're just fake. If you had your way, you would shut down the entire world. And then what would happen to the economy? Wake the fuck up, you idiot! No matter how old you are, this can make you very, very sick. And you will need to go to the hospital. And when you get there, it's going to be chaos. So, do we offer help so everybody can stay home now? Or are we going to just get out our flags and our religious books and we're just going to march on through? Who dies, who cares, as long as I get my hamburger tomorrow morning. Yeah. This is the guy who cleans the floors at the hospitals. Has no health care benefits. Has no paid sick leave. And he's just shaking his head at this point. Why? Okay. Art and music, all the arts. You ever seen that thing in theater where there's the smiling mask and the frowning mask? Right. There's comedy and there's tragedy. And we are about to walk through a tragedy. If our little art supply here has his way. So your choice to stay home. You want to defeat this guy? Stay home.